Jo, 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 jo. So. So. Jo. Was geht? Oh, shit. Das geht nicht. So I'm currently trying to get the audio working right to get it into OBS, but I think it seems okay like this. Okay, so I think everything is working now. Microphone is working. Audio is working. Well, then let's do some shit. This is a project I made the couple of days yesterday, and I think on I don't know what date is it. It's Wednesday. Okay, so I think I made this on Monday and Tuesday. And the basic idea was just I came up with the drums, and I'm obsessed with the hey guys, thanks for joining. Lately I've been obsessed with those kind of bongo drums, like and I think I started with this track off just with the kick and the overall drums, which sounded like this. Yeah, and I really like that vibe and tried to play around with an 808 I had here and completely distorted and overdriven the 808, so it sounded like this. Yeah, and from that I built up the whole track. So it's basically split into 3 parts. I tried to not, how should I say it, to not stick to a very strict order. Like I tried to keep the intro as short as possible and straight go into the first drop, and after that a little break style beat. After that there's a trap part which I'm not gonna play because yes, and then I tried to do some kind of stuff. I really like the again with the VIP, so I tried to implement some bongo style, like hit 'em with the oh shit, that's not working. Maybe I disable all those. Yeah, and another step is just to try and improve that. Let's maybe start off with the break, the first. let's.
Get your rave. Show me.
Make me feel. The night.
There it was. So let's assign. No. Lights is coming out this Friday. In 2 days. Like same as I think this Friday is a lot of new music coming out from Joyride. The Brave album is coming. My tune is coming on Bass House Music. A-Trip is releasing a tune. I heard some pretty crazy dubstep DJs releasing a tune. So this Friday will be pretty intense. Rushed here as soon as I've heard a story. Yeah. Let's try and do something productive this time, not like the last stream where I just talked about kicks and set up the stream, and hopefully now everything is working. I still need to figure out a way how to get the proper audio into the stream, but maybe I'll buy a capture card for, I don't know, maybe there's something which is in combination with Fruity Loops. Okay, that definitely need some EQing there. Let's low cut it. And some high. It needs some highs too. Okay, like that. Yo, hey. So, just I'm curious, how many people are watching right now? I have this on the. Oh, not bad for the second stream. So. If there are any questions that you'd like to ask, just ask them. Feel free, I will answer them if I can, of course. So a really good reverb I like to use is from Waves. You can use the normal fruity reverb, but I like to use the True Verb and try around with the presets. For example, Studio B gives it a cool, nice. Nice feeling, and of course we try some OTT with the upward compression down and just about 20%. Nice. Could you show us some bass house bassline sound design? It depends. There are so many. I wouldn't say subgenres of bass house. Like if you, for example, you take the old stuff, the old stuff which I did, is basically just in the newer tunes I use an analog synthesizer which is called Bearing on Neutron, and I heavily process it. And for example, for some other tunes you can, let me show you real quick. I use Massive, and I tweak the preset a lot, which is called, which is basically just a Reese bass in the beginning. And I turn down because those two oscillators are like vibrating with each other. So I just turn it down to have a normal. Then you can play with the white noise. And let's say we route this to 69, and then I have a preset here with, for example, an analog chain, which I use on the Neutron in my newer songs, and I have also the main Reese bass drop, which is it's a bit extreme now because they're just it's just some EQing to get the lows out, because I add an extra sub every time. Big Goat is a distortion panel, which basically emulates a distortion panel. Camel Crusher, everybody knows that. Shaper Box for an effect which I call like the Melbourne bounce effect. If I turn this up and play a note, it's just a filter automation within Shaper Box. Then some OTT, wave shaping, and that's it basically for this kind of bass, yeah. So you can do it a lot of different ways. In general, it's a lot of distortion, a lot of filtering, a lot of layering, and even some, mainly layering, I would say, to get some bass sounds. There are also some cool preset packs, for example, from Vengeance, where you have, for example, a deep house synth style bass cuts, where you can do a lot of shit with it if you process them right. Bro, how do you process the 808? It's funny story. I have a few instances of the 808 right here, and it's basically an internal plugin from Fruity Loops, which is called Flex, and it's just a distorted 808 preset, and I separated it in 3 parts. Okay, I used the filter there, so let's go into the drop, and in the drop it sounds like this. And the first, let me mute the other two. The first instance of the 808 is just a click at the beginning, which gives it a bit more impact and brings up the groove. Oh, never mind. This is now the first one. So you here it's really only the impact of the 808. Then we have the main 808, which isn't that much distorted, but it has some crunch to it. And the last instance is a really heavily top distorted bass, which sounds like this. And together they sound like this. Yeah, that's basically how I process the 808. Afterwards, I just use a filter, which is for an automation, some EQing to cut out the lows to make room for the other instruments. This is a funny plugin I found. It's on the Waves bundle, and it basically emulates old microphones, like really, really old microphones. And for example, this one is the 3rd microphone of Queen Elizabeth, and it gives it like a filtered sound, like... I used it for the break, and afterwards just some Endless Smile for build up and some balance to balance it differently in some in different parts of the song. Are you planning on doing live streams for demo reviews and feedback on anytime soon? I can do that. I did that with Dan Lee on Instagram, but I think I can do it on YouTube too. If there are some demos which guys would love to send over, sure, why not? I mean, you can send some tracks in the chat. I don't know if I can open links from there, but you can send me music anytime via Instagram or my promo email, or I think you will find a way to contact me, so feel free to send it over. Unfortunately, I can't access the Bass House Music website. Do you know what's the problem is? Do you mean the YouTube website or the website? First of all, I didn't even know they had a website. So let me just... Oh, they have a website. Nice to know. Okay, maybe it's down, maybe... I don't know. Don't ask me. So the YouTube channel is fine, which I think is the important part. I mean the classic Gerald LeFunk A-Trip Sick Dope synth. Let me just... so... Let's go. I mean, I can show you some... Let's see what he's up to. Okay, maybe not. This one's dope. This one basically reminds me of a patch I remade a time ago in Serum, which is the Dillon Francis bass remake. So I think he just took this some kind of bass, like this is I don't know how to describe this waveform, but it's just that waveform with some white noise, and then in the compressor some EQing and the filter. Okay, the filter heavily didn't activate it, so it's basically just, you can also use a saw wave with some white noise and distort it. That's one way to get it. And for the second part, which he layered, I think is a harmony, and maybe he let I mean, I can let this on the screen right now so you can rebuild it if you want. And the second thing is, I think a sine wave distorted in the fifth, so he gets that harmony in there, or maybe just saturated that heavily so he gets the upper harmonics to shine out a bit more. So it's really not that hard to make this. Like, you can really use any white noise and route it both into the distortion section and just turn on the for example the tube distortion a bit, and you get the sound like this. There are also some great presets. For example, there's this Cymatics Jaws preset pack. Yeah. So there are so many bass sounds. I mean, I think they're pretty much overused at this point, and not really my style, but there are some pretty cool presets in there. It can be a major favorite. I honestly have no idea how music theory works. We had it in university and it was pretty shit in the course, but luckily I have a good ear, so I know what sounds right. Like, most of the producers don't really know about music theory. It's just the basics, of course, and they just go after their ears. Yeah, so let's continue with the tune, I would say. I think I haven't missed the question yet. No. So okay, so I think I want it shorter, like this, and turn on the bleeding, which is just Do you have a Spotify playlist where you support other artists' tracks or something, like a radio show? No, I don't have a Spotify playlist, because I think there are so many good Spotify playlists out there, and there is no need in creating Spotify playlists, especially when Spotify itself creates massively good playlists. Of course, it's hard to get in, but I never had the urge to create a radio show and Spotify play. I rather use the time to spend in music production and learn some new shit about music production, instead of creating playlists mainly for gaining reach, to be honest. So no, I don't have. But if it's a good track, I repost it on SoundCloud, of course. I mean, SoundCloud reach is fucked, but maybe it helps a bit. So god, the copy and paste is so annoying in Fruity Loops. Because if I pay... Okay, now it works. So let's add this. Yeah, for anybody who is not aware of that trick, it's if you turn a knob, any knob in Fruity Loops, for example, you can always go on Tools and go to Last Tweaks and create an automation clip. So that's the way to automate really everything in Fruity Loops. For example, like I want to automate the reverb tail of this kick, of this clap. I don't know, this transition is not feeling nice yet. Is this one? What? Why the fuck did I keep this? This sounds horrible. Yo, was geht, Stefan? Subsurface in the house. I'm sadly in the wrong DAW for most of people because mainly people are using Ableton these days, and I think many people switching from Fruity Loops. I don't know why, but I mean I also switched to another program for mixing and mastering, which is called Nuendo. Also for film stuff, which I do in my spare time. But yeah, sadly I'm not in Ableton, so I can't show some of you some tricks. Some sort of impact there. Yeah, maybe not this stream. I will probably do maybe a demo stream the next time. But you can feel free to send it to me on my Instagram, and I will check it out later after the stream. Like I will probably stream for another 20 minutes and try to keep, for example, try to fix the break here to the trap part, which begins here, because I need a good transition from house to trap. And yeah, afterwards I check it out. I need some sort of impact right there, maybe in the cymatics through downlift. That's cool with this sort of sweep up. If we take out the transient, maybe it will. What the fuck? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Hold up. Oh, what? Of course, it's way too loud, and we need to fade it in. So we create just a volume automation. Send it. Maybe like this. forget this automation and just also a good way in cleaning up the whole project is to low cut, for example, things like this. For example, I know that I have a low impact. So I really don't need any low frequencies in this one, and that's one way to get a clean mix, to really look through the project and look which objects are colliding in each other or are beating each other. For example, if you have two low-end impacts, they will sound shit together because their phase is messed up or whatever. So try that to clean up the mix. I don't know. Okay, I like that. Maybe we will use this effect, right? Okay, so this is an then we need fix and again reverb, maybe some true reverb before that to give it some room and space. We will use the Studio B The plugin takes so long to load. It's unbelievable. In the oh no, Fruity Loops froze. Fuck me. Not again. So I really need to get a way to keep down the CPU usage while I'm streaming. Maybe I'll need to close this chat right here and close this chat. Oh no. Oh, for fuck's sake. So there we go. There you go. It's loading. I mean, wouldn't it be such a cool plugin? I wouldn't use it ever because the loading times on those are massively. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the system. So I'll just let that play. And for the second part, maybe we will just copy this whole patch here and just duplicate this one. Is it and it's at 150, so we need to go 1050. I think. Okay, what a trick you can do is, for example, if you pitch samples like this up and down in octaves, of course the lower octaves won't have a much high end in it, so you just link it to another channel and route it back into the first channel. So you don't need to change the same effect, but you can add some highs in the sample on the one channel. Like this, and maybe some saturation before that, around, or fast master. That was basically a bit too much. We got to 50.
Hit him with the.
How I hate this that some plugins are just not working as they're supposed to. Because, for example, if you take a listen to those vocals, sometimes the manipulator, which is a plugin from Infected Mushrooms, is not working properly. And yeah. So I hope the overall stream quality is fine. Maybe you can tell me if it's okay. I haven't checked it in the beginning of the stream because I just see it on a small window up there. Maybe tell me if everything is okay, if the sound is too loud. So I really need to adapt to this streaming thing. Like, I don't really know if the Windows audio is too quiet or too loud. So yeah. I think that's better with the impact.
Hit him with the.
Okay, I don't know why, but the stream on my, like the YouTube page, the dashboard where the stream is running looks a bit weird. I don't know, I hope everything is okay. So yeah, I think that one is good. Let's adapt it to the second part where... then for the build-up, which we added, like, can add this there. Okay, hold up, that's not right. Oh, there we go.
Hit 'em with the
Some sort of maybe we can find some of the old.
Make me
Hey, please, baby, please, baby,
Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll do that for later. Kick is mega on point. Danke. Is the kick is I hate to say this, but when Again Wither came out, I tried to remake the kick and ripped some parts of the low end of the kick out of the original, which basically sounds like this. No, there we go. Draw drums. So this are some parts out of the original Again With a Kick, which I layered in this track with an basic top kick. And yeah, the kick alone sounds like this without processing. Let me just quickly disable this. And if I add some processing, it sounds like this. So the only thing I did is some EQing. I took out the high end of the top kick. Then some EQing because there was a resonance I didn't like. Put the low up a bit. Then the most important part is maybe shaper box, which gets triggered by this MIDI panel here. So every time the kick plays, shaper box the highs and the mid duck to make the kick shorter. Afterwards some glue compression, and in the main bus for all the drums I have another glue compressor and an invisible limiter, so it's not peaking too hard because I really push my kicks into the mix. So in the master it always plays around the punchiness. I don't know how to describe it, so I mainly layer everything around the kick so it gets so the main element of the drop basically is the punchy kick, and so it gets through the mix even better. And ja, ich bin Deutsch. Also eigentlich österreichisch, aber ich rede nur Englisch, weil vielleicht manche nicht Deutsch können, genauso wie auf Instagram die Diskussion. Finde ich immer wieder zu witzig, wenn ich die mit Leuten führen kann. Weil ich denke mal, auch wenn ich nur Hausnummer, keine Ahnung, 50 Leute habe, die mir folgen, die kein Deutsch können, finde ich es nicht fair, dass ich sage, ich mache meine Stories nur auf Deutsch. Weil ich würd mich ankotzen, wenn ich zum Beispiel jetzt irgendeinen Artist folge und der dann die ganze Zeit auf Spanisch oder sowas redet. Das kotzt mich einfach an und deswegen, ja, ich bin eigentlich Österreicher, aber mache alles eigentlich auf Englisch. Do you know Jay Kuch? How to pronounce? I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I don't know him, no? Who is it? Is it a artist or a plugin? Or tell me. So yeah, that's basically, and for all my drums, I try to group them, for example, into top drums and route them into a top bus, or the bongos in a separate bus, or the fast drop top, the fast top cymbals like those, which also sound unprocessed like this. And processed like this. So yeah, so where was it? I wanted to do something at the end. I was like, where's the loop I found? Where was this one? Oh, I already used it in a break. Nice. That's what I'm searching for. I always like to end my tracks with some sort of crash or unnecessary distorted impact. No, there's some percussion which maybe we also add the kick. Sounds horrible. Then maybe the impact of this one. Let me try that for. Oh, that sounds cool. Okay, now the siren is playing a bit through. Okay, it's this one, so we turn this down for the sirens. I need to switch again to single curve. Hola, amigo. Man. Exactly, yeah, that's what I like. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is the part between this one, because I tried to go with a different pattern this time in this track. For example, I go from the first, like there will be an extended mix, but the radio is like basically starting at the build-up. Then there's the first drop, some sort of break into the build-up into the trap part, then another break into some sort of house in between drop. And for this I need maybe another clap, I don't know. ass if the system is overloaded, like getting the channels where they belong. Oh, we were just at the break drums. Holy fuck, this is annoying. Oh, there we go.
Hit 'em with the
I mean, sounds fine. In general, we need to export all this and into stems and mix and master it separately, but other than that, I'm quite happy with the result. Anything you would like me to add to the track? Any ideas how to make this more or better? Let's maybe change. Oh, I can also use this view. Ooh. So I have a second camera here. I'm prepared as fuck. And yeah. Hit me with those laser beams. Okay. I mean, we actually could add laser beams. I have some here. Do we have? Yeah, we have some. Save the project. Yeah. I'm constantly saving the project, man. The only shortcut I'm really having my fingers at is Control and Save button. So the project will be safe. And yeah, maybe let's show this. I hope everybody knows this. Everybody using Fruity Loops, you can, if you have I have my own view on the left side. So you can go next to the browser icon on all and go, for example, Snap 8. And there's a backup folder, which if you have autosave on, saves every minute or every 5 minutes and before every risky action. I think, let me just check. In general, it should be here, like, where is it? Oh, there, autosave frequently every 5 minutes and before risky operations, which basically means that every time you open a plugin, Fruity Loops saves before it opens the plugin, so you have a backup. So it's nice to basically, if somebody tells me that they have a lost project in Fruity Loops, I don't believe them, because Fruity Loops got you covered, man. Yeah, so hit me with the laser beams. Maybe we can add them somewhere. I don't know, man. Definitely not here, maybe.
hit 'em with the
Maybe instead of the gunshots, which I have here, let's mute them for now and add the laser beams, because they have mainly the same purpose too.
hit 'em with the hit 'em with the hit 'em with the hit 'em with the
I need some hit 'em with that, some kind of fill maybe in the trap sample pack, drum loops, fills, percussion fills. That's perfect. That's perfect. So we just pitch it to the. It's 140.
Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the.
Ah, that's nice. That's nice. Ooh, that's hot.
Hit 'em with the. 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 Hit 'em with the.
Then we use an auto panner on this one. Go for 50.
Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the.
Bit too messy. Maybe just.
Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the.
Maybe we need to cut it a bit shorter. What is it? 64.
Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the.
Okay, now they're pretty lame.
Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the.
Maybe we'll fade it in a bit. I mean, I'm stupid. I can just use.
Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the. Hit 'em with the.
And yes, that's basically it. I mean, I think that's a good final version for not being mastered. So, yeah. Are there any last questions before we end the stream? Let's switch into the serious mode. I think this better. So, are there any questions? Man, this is so weird looking directly into the camera. I don't know. I need to get used to the streaming thing. So, this project, oh my god, it's huge. How many tracks are there? About 90. Yeah. If you count all the automations, like half of the tracks are already drums, and the rest are just instruments layered. Yes. Any last questions before we end the stream here? We streamed another hour. Oh, even longer than last time. About 10 minutes longer. So, save the project. Project is saved. So, if there aren't any questions, if you have questions later, you can call up Joyride RageMode. I mean, it would be cool, but I think since I don't know. I mean, it's not gonna happen anyway. Maybe in the future, who knows? But I mean, I would be down. So, but who knows? I rather collab with smaller artists because I don't know, the vibe is for me better if you collab with smaller artists. I don't know. I had the experience that most of the bigger artists are like not assholes and they are not, they are friendly people and they are cool people, most of them. I know a few which I met at events where I played support for them, which were really, they, some of them are whew, assholes over the top, but yeah, there are some it's hard to describe. If you have reached a certain amount of fame, I think it changes you definitely. So I rather collab with smaller artists. Samples over plugins. I think samples. Depends. If you, for example, use samples and use plugins to modulate them, for example, to take I don't know, a sample you found on Splice, route it through Serum FX and use the Serum FX oscillator to modulate it. It's a cool way. I mean, depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you want to make a future-based track, I would rather stick with synthesizers or plugins. But for example, if you use a lot of recordings like bongos or drums and hi-hats, you should stick with samples, but that's just my opinion. So we have exactly 1 minute left, and I think I just ended with saying that if you have any questions, feel free to ask it on Instagram or somewhere else. Maybe if you haven't, follow me on YouTube. Oh my god, that sounds stupid. But anyway, follow me on YouTube, and yeah, see you next time.